Adaptimmune develops T-cell therapies by engineering special T-cell receptors, also called TCRs, with the goal of treating a wide range of cancer tumors. To understand how this works, let's look at the immune system. The immune system is made up of a variety of cell types, including specialized white blood cells called T cells. Each T cell expresses TCRs, which act as sensors for the T cell. Cells throughout the body interact with the immune system, including T cells, by constantly breaking down proteins and putting up little pieces of these proteins on their outside surfaces for T cells to see. If the T cell senses familiar proteins, it does not respond. But if the T cell senses different proteins, like those from a virus, the T cell responds and destroys the cell. Tumor cells express unique proteins, but unlike those from a virus, the cancer proteins don't look different enough for most T cells to attack them, allowing cancer cells to remain undercover and continue to grow. This is where Adaptimmune's TCRs, called SPEAR T cells, come into play. Adaptimmune engineers TCRs to recognize different tumor proteins and puts these TCRs into a cancer patient's own T cells to arm their immune system to fight their cancer. With these special enhanced TCRs, it is now possible for the patient's own T cells to kill the cancer cells with the aim of reducing the cancer. The SPEAR T cells will continue to multiply within the body, allowing them to attack more cancer cells. However, it is important to note that the treatment might not lead to the same results in all patients treated or any reduction of the cancer. We want to thank the patients who take part in our clinical trials as we continue our research to enable the immune system to fight cancer.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a very poignant video, and the video is in regards to our special guest again today. We had Sonny Burks on back in July, and he gave us an update in terms of his treatment for his cancer diagnosis and the fact that he was going to be going into a very early stage process called SPEAR T, which is what you just saw in terms of how they fight, battle, and try to remedy his body from the cancer. We're doing an update today. First of all, I'm gonna bring on his brother, Eric Burks, my co-host on Unscripted. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Thank you for hollering at me and saying, you know what, let's do this. But I think without further ado, let's bring on this man. I'm actually stalling because he's got some kind of weird cell signal. He's on either Boost Mobile, Singular, all them old school cellular services right now. He can't get his signal right. He can't get right. But let's see what we can do. Sonny, talk to us, brother. How you doing? Oh my God!
Can you hear me?
You get that like 10-second delay, right? You know? Are you on the moon?
It's like a kung fu movie.
Bad ad lib.
I don't know. Right? I'm doing the same thing.
You're looking good, man.
And then he left the screen. The man is the star of today's show, and then he walks off from the live show. I could blame it on you wearing that Seattle jersey, but I'm not going to do that as a Steelers fan. I could say that.
Well, I mean, talk about the video really quick. The video was pretty awesome. It kind of reminds me of when they were showing all the cells and putting the cells in your body. It looked like, you know how they talk about nanites going there and fixing your body all up. Next thing you know, he's gonna like look real hard and turn into metal. He's like a superhero show.
Yeah, I mean that video was very poignant because I guess I really from a layman's perspective, right? It kind of illustrates, Sonny, what you have been going through these past few months in terms of treatment. So first and foremost, before we go anywhere, tell the folks how you're doing since you entered this SPEAR T treatment.
Okay, so hopefully you can hear me.
We got you, brother.
Okay, everything's been going good. So essentially, we started this off. We tried to start off at the beginning of the year, and it ended up getting postponed because of the COVID, and during that time while it was postponed, I wasn't able to do any treatment, and so we could see that without any treatment, those for 3 to 4 months without any treatment, we could see that the tumors were growing, and so I compare that with what my result been now. So I just got a scan on the 3rd, on the excuse me, 2nd of December, and that's the my first scan was in August, I believe, or September. So either way, it's September, October, November, December. It's about 4 or 5 months, and I've been completely basically stable. So there's been no visible growth, as opposed to those 4 months prior where it was obviously growing. So that's basically where I stand now. That's everything. That is the latest, and that's how I'm doing. In terms of really how I'm feeling, and yeah, just I guess how I'm feeling. I feel really good. I had one new symptom come up, and it's not. I can't attribute it to the treatment itself. Actually, I started to feel the symptom prior to starting the treatment. That symptom is I've got some numbness in my right foot. We're still trying to work out what we're going to do about that, how we're going to look at it. It kind of falls in line with a nerve issue. Like so maybe there's something pressing up against the nerve. I've been trying to think what it might be, what I've been doing. I know one of the things that has changed for me since I started getting treatment is I'm not able to work out. So I've been doing a lot of sitting on my butt, and so it actually could be a symptom of that. You know, not being active enough. So that's one of the things
like sciatica.
I'm trying to do.
Like a sciatica, they're thinking.
Yeah, so it's similar because actually, so over the last few months, the pain has actually moved from my foot, and it's pain and numbness, and it goes up my shin, actually my ankle all the way up my shin. I can feel it when I'm trying to go to sleep. So it's very similar to a sciatic type of pain, but it's not the same. I've had sciatica before, and
something different.
So that's really the only new thing, the new issue that's popped up. Other than that, I really feel great. It's weird. So the tumors haven't started shrinking or anything, but literally immediately after taking the treatment, and it's a one-time treatment, and they've just been checking on me since. But literally after taking it, I just felt better. I don't know if it's just a mental thing because I've been waiting to try this for years.
Right.
But even if it's that, I feel great.
So according to the video, according to the video, it shows that the cells, those T cells, will actually multiply. Are they able to rate that growth, and are they multiplying and within your body? I don't know how they measure that, or do they measure that?
No, that's a great question, and that's actually it's funny you should ask that, because after my appointment, so I had my appointment on the 3rd, the appointment with the doctor to look over my scan, and it wasn't until after the appointment that I thought to myself, I asked myself the same question. I was like, wait a minute, can they check to see if we do blood work every time I go in now, and I didn't ask that.
Slip your mind.
So that's something that I need to ask.
Okay. I think that video was very informative. That video gave a lot of insight, and I'm wondering if that's actually what's going on, or if they're able to measure if that is in fact happening within your body since the treatment, because you said it was only a one-time treatment.
Yeah, and I think that we can surmise that is what's happening. It's just not happening at the rate that they probably want, or that I would like to.
Right.
And I think the reason we can surmise that is because of how it was, what was happening prior to and then after. So it was literally each month I was getting a scan, or every 3 months I was getting a scan, and it was getting a little bit bigger. And now it's literally it's the same. So I think that it's keeping the tumors from being able to grow and get bigger. I think that another thing that helps is I do try to stay on top of my nutrition. I'm not on any type of a diet or anything, but what I do is actually Vivian is the one who mostly does it. She watches basically what I eat, and I don't overdo anything. Mostly what we try to look out for is sugar, and really sugar. So just try to keep that to a minimum. I do still have so over the last 6 months, so I haven't had any alcohol, but I've had I had to have a glass of champagne when when the results came out for the. I had a couple glass of champagne. So, but anyway, and New Year's I'm going to have it again, and then on January 20th I'm probably going to have. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some Dom. We're going to splurge. So.
Going to celebrate. Sonny, let me ask you, you said you had one treatment. Is there another treatment scheduled, or are you just really kind of in a holding pattern to see what happens with this particular first one? Are your doctors kind of analyzing that, and maybe in a few months they do it again?
Yes. So the short answer is yes. Well, actually, it's yes and no. There isn't anything else that's scheduled for me. Okay. I am. Yes, it was a one-time thing, and all it is like I said, I'm in a holding pattern, and we're just looking each month to see what happens. And if it stays stable, then that's probably what we'll just stick with it, as long as I don't have any new symptoms. And because my, it's always what's the word I'm looking for? They make it to the specific individual. And so with my situation, with me, I really don't have a lot of limitations. I live with chronic pain from because of where it's located, and it kind of, it sort of limits a little bit of the things that I can do. Like it's probably best I don't go running, but I could run a little bit, and different other activities that I can't do. But because I'm essentially capable of pretty much doing whatever it is that I want, stable is good. So I'm just in a holding pattern, and we're not going to do any other treatment right now. That's the current plan. Now, the reason I say it's yes, the answer is yes and no, is that there are other things that are coming about that, initially, my initial scan, it looked like it might have grown a little bit, just a tiny bit. But just as we've gone on these last few months, it's pretty obvious that it's not. It's just, you can get a scan and it'll look different because of the way I'm positioned when I get the scan or whatever. But it hasn't grown. So, but we had that discussion after the first scan, and it showed. They did let me know. My doctor at the time did let me know that there are other things that are coming down the line that are along the same lines as what I just did, the Spirit T, and there's also even the option of doing that Spirit T treatment again. So I actually found somebody on one of my support groups on Facebook who actually did it a second time as well, and because it started her started to grow down the line, but when the way I understand it, when she did it a second time, it wasn't as effective, but that's still an option, and it's different for everybody. And I was just happy to hear that there are some other options there that are coming down the line. There are some that are already in the pipeline that I could do if circumstances change. But like I said, for now, it's just a holding pattern, as long as it stays stable. That's kind of what it's about for me right now.
Because it's a part of the immune system, and your immune system, they're trying to develop that. And do they give you an exercise regimen to help boost that, your immune system? Or are you doing an exercise regimen?
They don't. So this is so what I found, and I could be wrong about this, but what I found with trials is, they've done everything that they can to make sure that the medicine is safe, and in terms of okay, they're not going to give it to me, and it's not going to cause me any severe issues. Okay, they don't do a whole lot outside of that. So it's a matter of administering the meds, and then it's sort of like, let's allow a person to live the life that they want to live. Right. So there's a big discussion behind that that I could get into, but I probably shouldn't. It'll probably be too long. But essentially, it's like, for me, I found that, and this is a part of advocating for yourself as a patient. I found that individually, we have to figure out what's going to be, what works for us. Right. So I haven't found I've been trying to put together a work regimen, something that's going to work with my limitations. It's been difficult, but I find things here and there that I can do. Mostly it's walking. So swimming would be good, but I need to check to see if the pool that I go to, I used to go to the pool here on base. I need to see if that's still open. I have I'm guessing that it's been closed because of the COVID restrictions. So that's another thing that's been kind of difficult. And I know actually that's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about. But the restrictions that have come down in California just in the last few days. But I know that's a different discussion.
Well, I'll sum it up in one sentence: we are closed. As of today, a good portion of the state is under
lockdown,
even more restrictions, right? So that is what it is. But I think that's reverberating across. I wouldn't even just say the country; I would say the entire world. So you have to be creative. You have to figure out some other things to take care of yourself. But before we go on to another topic, and before I forget, because my mind doesn't work the way it used to, you had mentioned something about advocating for yourself as a patient with your healthcare professional, and that's critical and that's key. Spear T, is that something that's available to anyone? Is that a early adoption type of treatment, or is that something that you can go into your doctor and they already know to try to take advantage of this particular treatment? Or is this something that, again, you had to do some research and find out this is an option that's available for me? So can we research this, or can we do this? Give us a kind of how you went about the actual start and premise of saying, let's try the Spear T treatment.
Okay, so as far as it being available to anyone, it is not necessarily available to anybody. So the way I heard about it was through my doctor, and he is a research doctor, and so he was aware of these new things that were coming down the pipeline. I'll give you an example. Before I went to get my treatment, when I found out that I had a recurrence and it was coming back, and I wasn't going to be able to just do some over the counter stuff. Mm-hmm. I first went to a different hospital. I was already associated with the hospital that I go to now, but again, one of the things that we tell people to advocate, tell people to do, is to get a second opinion. So I went to another hospital. When I went to that hospital, they told me and this was literally 4 years ago. They told me I had one option, and it was the same option that I had that I was given 10 years ago when I was first diagnosed. And that particular doctor was adamant that was the only option that I had. So when I went back to the hospital that I go to now, I don't know if it was because he was in research, but he right off the bat, he was like, oh, here's some other options, and this particular one wasn't actually the Spear T. It wasn't quite yet an option for me at that point. So I had avoided chemo for the first 6 years that I was after I was diagnosed, and it's because it was strictly fear. I mean, I just you hear the stories and everything, and so the Spear T treatment, it's not available, or at least currently, at least when I went through it, it was not available to anybody until they had gone through what they call the standard treatment. And for me, and for sarcoma, the standard treatment it was and still is, I believe, there are a lot of different chemotherapies that you have to go through first, and it's just because it is the standard, so they don't want to put you on something that is experimental until you've gone through the standard that those treatments that have been proven to give you a longer life, and really that's because they don't have a cure yet for most cancers. That's really what they're striving for initially, is to prolong life, and they call it. They usually go. The standard is 5 years. If they can prolong your life for 5 years, I mean, that's literally, and give you some quality of life as well. That's literally. I mean, that's 5 years that you wouldn't have had. And that's kind of the way I look at it now. And I know it was something that I had to kind of get used to. I did not, the thought of, I'm just trying to, prolong my life and not a cure. That has become what the medical community is trying to do, as opposed to really kind of looking for a cure. And there's a lot of different things that go into that. And that's another conversation. I have a new respect for. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that.
So sorry. Well, I just wanted to make sure that I got to the point of the question being, is it available for anybody? It's available when I got it. It was available for anybody who had already been through the standard treatments. Yeah, and it is, to my knowledge, currently it is still not available unless you've been through the standard treatment. Outside of that, once you've had the other standard treatments, I believe it is available for anybody, because there's nothing special about me in terms of, of course, they've got to do tests on you also. There's a blood test. They make sure that it is something that
it's possible. You're a candidate.
That would work for you. I've had exactly. I've had a couple of people whom I've shared the information with in my support group, who unfortunately they weren't even eligible. They weren't candidates because the blood test came up negative for what you needed to show. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, according to that video, man, it looks like, I mean, that type of treatment could treat all kinds of things. You know, it's like you're boosting your T cells. Your T cells are, you know, you're finding strange things in your body, and it's attacking the strange thing in your body. I mean, COVIDs, flus, but you know, all kinds of other viruses. I can see it being, but like you said,
right?
Yeah, these are all studies, but it's hard to believe because they always tell you. And again, you know, I'm no doctor or no scientist or anything like that, or researcher or whatever, but they tell you as you're growing up, exercise helps build your immunity, eating good food, you know, and I would think they would incorporate some of that to strengthen your immune system. To, you know, they include these T cells into your immune system. I mean, honestly, that's why you know. I don't want to get all emotional like I did last show, but I think that's why for me it's a wake up call for me, because you know, we're family, and then you know, I'm scared to stop moving. I'm literally scared to stop moving, and I go to the gym every day. I try to exercise and just move and just try to keep my body, you know, healthy. I rest. It's you would think that these things have been happening for, you know, hundreds of years, and we don't. I mean, how long did it take them to find this COVID? I know it's not like it's only a 95%, you know, that it even does anything, but man, this things seem like they've been around for so long.
I guess let me ask about that, right? Because and I know where you're coming from, me. But Sonny talked about something that everyone can do on a daily basis, even though you probably can't go work out or whatever. Your gyms are closed, the world is closed. But that nutrition piece, right? You talked about getting rid of that high fructose corn syrup. That, man, that's a killer. And I've told everyone that I know, gosh, that sugar is just get rid of it. Maximize your water intake. You think you drink enough water? No, you're not. Drink some more. And you know, look, I got one finger pointing out, 3 fingers pointing back at me, right? I got to have an app on my phone to remind me that I need to drink water. You guys have known me. I used to drink coffee all day, every day now I'm down to probably 2 or 3 cups a day. That's still a little more than I probably should, but you know, still probably a little more than I should, but I'm not drinking a whole carafe like I used to, because again, that stimulant is not healthy for the body. But healthy greens, going as close to plant-based as you possibly can. Look, I know it's tough to go vegan. We did it for a month with my daughter just this past month, because she was doing it for not an experiment, but for an assignment in class, and we did it, man. It was tough. We're still pretty close to it. We're more vegetarian now, but again, just get rid of a whole bunch of cow and a whole bunch of pig. I mean, you don't need that in your body. And I think Sonny touched on that, saying what he's still doing now, even though he's already had his treatment, focusing on that nutrition. What you put in your body, if you put crap into your body, then unfortunately, that's what's going to slow you down. Crap, right? That's going to make you non-productive. Let me ask you, Sonny, are you also, so Eric and I probably, you know, supplementation, right? We do that from a training perspective, right? You know, you got to have your aminos, your branch chain amino acids. You got to have your glutamine for recovery, right? There's certain things that we will probably take because we do a lot of training. But do they have you on any type of supplementation, multivitamins, or anything specific for your case?
Oh, he's froze.
Yes. And it was really just a suggestion, but it's just literally just.
Yeah.
It was just a suggestion. The only supplement that I'm on is a multivitamin.
Okay.
I know I'm on like a delay or something, so I'm trying
to. Are you still in Hawaii?
That's it. I eat whole foods. No, I'm not. No.
I know. I just do that out there. You know, you're not still living a good life on the beach while we are stuck in this concrete jungle. You're on the beaches of I don't know, Kauai or something somewhere. But
was it Kauai?
No. Okay. I'll touch on that. No, it wasn't Kauai. It was Oahu, and let me just put out there for my Hawaii peeps that are out on Oahu. I hope you can forgive me for not visiting. I'm sure you could understand the reason I didn't. was because because of the
put them on blast
pandemic. So
blame it on the vid.
I
Blame
mean,
everything on the
literally all I did was no, it's all good. Literally, we got there. We had to take a test before we flew. We had to, we had to test negative, and then we had to quarantine from the time we tested to the time we flew. Once we flew, when we got off the plane, when we got down in Hawaii, there was they did the temperature checks, and I don't know if it was just the time that we flew, because just before things started to get worse, we kind of it was just, I'll just say it was perfect timing. And when we went through, we had to have all that tests and stuff, information right there available for them. There was no line. We went straight through the airport. They saw that we tested negative and we were able to go. So we didn't have to quarantine while we were there. But when we were there, I mean, basically we did the same thing that we do here. The only thing we went out for was to the grocery store. And I cooked, we cooked at the condo, and we went from the condo to the beach, back to the condo, and that's pretty much, that was our vacation. But we needed some sunshine, some sand. I got to swim, and so that's vacation for us anyway. That's the way we see it. So. And the way we look at it also was, the numbers were worse here than they were there. The only concern was flying, and when we looked at the research that they have about flying, they say it's safer than a lot of other situations that we find ourselves in. Especially they weren't selling. We flew on I think it was it Delta? I think it was Delta. I'm not 100% sure, but either way. They weren't selling the middle seat, so the middle seat was empty. We didn't have a whole lot of people between us. We weren't packed on the plane, so I mean it was. I felt completely safe, and we took all the precautions while we were there and in between. So.
And I think that's important too. I know we always talk about physical health, and we talk about what we're eating, but mental health is just as important for a healthy lifestyle. So vacations, I'm all about vacations. I need one. And I can't wait till we can travel. I know we drive to places, but we really drive to like locations now. Like we'll go to like a beach on its out of nowhere, nobody's around it, or we'll go like somewhere to like a vista and just kind of take in the scenery, just to have a mental perspective, just to kind of clear our heads on what's going on right now. But and I apologize for all the shaking, but I think the mental health is very important as well.
I mean, I would even go as far as to say that vacation and just getting away is healing in and of itself, right? I mean, it may not be able to be measured on any graph or any chart, but I think internally that was great for you to get out, some clean air, some good sunshine, some clean water, have a little poi, or no, I don't eat poi either, but I don't know why I said that.
Boy.
Poi, oh boy. But just to get out into a whole different environment and enjoy that's healing in and of itself, man. So and you're looking good. Again, I don't know about that Seahawks jersey you're wearing. I got problems with that.
Should be a Pittsburgh jersey.
That's what it's about.
Oh, look at him now. Oh, look, he flossing on us now. Okay. Let me take myself off camera.
We're about to play.
I was in the room. So a good friend of mine and Eric's, Ron Little, used to work for the Seahawks whole organization, and I was able to go kind of behind the scenes and take a look at some of the locker room and the stadium and all of that. Let me see if I can find some pictures to make you real quick. No.
Yeah, please. Here, so if it makes you feel better, I'm going to take this off.
Uh-oh.
now that just to have another Seattle.
There you go.
He's layered in Seahawks.
Game day.
He is
It is
layered
game
in
day,
Seahawks.
boy. I love it.
That's
great.
day, that's right.
So another thing that my baby brother and I like to do, he probably does it more than I do, but we watch the UFC. We watch a little bit of the UFC stuff that's going on. And the one I missed was this last one, or I think it already passed with oh my god, what's his name? The Irish guy. Did you get to see it? I wanted to ask you.
Nate Roberts.
McGregor?
McGregor. I thought he was fighting. McGregor had a fight. I want to say it was last weekend, but I didn't get to see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, McGregor doesn't fight till I think it's January or something.
So I didn't miss it. Nice. I didn't miss it. Yeah, but we've been watching some crazy, awesome fights. A lot of the female the competitors have been amazing. Is this the?
I'm waiting for Sonny to recognize that there. That's in the media room. That's where Coach gives his press briefing. That's me. That's me infiltrating.
Yeah, nice. I want to go there.
Yeah,
I did get to
one more picture
to hold the trophy when they won the Super Bowl. I'm like really behind. I guess I do need to check out my Wi-Fi, but I'm on Verizon, so
you going 5G. You going 5G. So this picture is up where the flagpole is, where the 12th band flagpole is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of pictures of there. Yeah.
There you go. See, I'm not a complete hater.
That's about what it looks like right now too.
I've been in your house. I've been in your house. I'm not a complete hater.
People call me a bad fan, but I honestly I just like to watch to see a good game. Even when we lose, I'm not one of those that gets down and depressed. If they play well, you know what I mean. So or if I see a good game, so that's what it's about for me. But I do like when they win, though. Nice to be in the city when they win.
You don't mind when a kicker misses a kick, or never mind.
keep it all in perspective, brother. Keep it all in perspective.
It ends up being, like I said, it ends up being a competitive game. And if there's anything that the Hawks do, they compete. And it's just, it makes me mad is they just play to the level of the team that they're playing. So it's great when they're playing a great team, but when they're playing a bad team, they play bad. So they just make it more difficult than they be sometimes. So.
So right, but Metcalf is a good person. He's
great.
An exciting
I like the personalities of the team.
Nice. Well, I'm glad we were able to catch up with you.
And honestly, I'll say, Lockett.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking football.
I know I'm on a
yeah, we're on football time. No. It's all good.
Be going on tangents.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm glad you're doing great. Thank you for the update. Thank you for sharing your experience that's going on. We'll try to keep keep reaching out and seeing how you're doing. I will, because I have to. I don't have to, but I do. I want to. I want to know what my baby brother's up to and how he's doing. So, but anyway, thank you. I love you.
You're a good brother, man. You're looking good, Sonny. Keep it up, man. We praying for you. Much continued well-being, man. EB, I will talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining another episode of ITN Live. We are out.